Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dave with Dave's RC, and I'd like to bring you the ME262 from Freewing. This is a twin 70 millimeter ducted fan jet plane. Let's see. It has 2200 kV, two-piece 2200 kV. This comes in at 59 inches, 1500 millimeters width, with the wingspan, the fuselage length, front to back, 1280 millimeters, 50 3/8 inches. Flying weight of 2,900 grams. That converts over to 102.29 ounces. That's flying weight, so I'm guessing that's with the battery. Now, up here on the box, it says that it comes complete with two-piece 50 amp ESCs. I believe when I read the description on this plane, it said it had 60 amps. So we'll get into that a little bit further once we get opening this thing up. But this will be the first unbox video. First video actually under our 4K definition. So all my videos from now on will be brought to you guys in 4K, courtesy of the Galaxy S8 Plus. So without further ado, let's go ahead. I've already got this pre-done because this is a giant box, just as big as the Dynam ME262 box. So the Dynam ME262 it's given me quite a bit of problems. I think one of the major reasons why it's giving me so many problems is because it doesn't have flaps. It's got horrible, shitty landing gear. It wants to torque one way or the other. It likes to torque, like when you hit the throttle, it like wants to pull one way more than the other. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe the ESCs aren't programmed right. They need to be programmed. Well, I programmed them and it still does that same shit. You gotta get into it slow. You gotta have plenty of speed to lift off. I'm not saying that this one's going to be any more carefree. Actually, I think this one's going to be a little bit more difficult. But it does have flaps, which is something that I wanted anyway. I actually wanted to get this one in the first place. I'm glad I didn't though, because I crashed that Dynam 262. We crashed that pretty good, and I have a new fuselage on the way for it. It should be here tomorrow. But yeah, it just went up, and then it tip stalled on me. I had plenty of speed. I don't know why it tip stalled. It tip stalled on me. So, like I said, we got another one on the way, and another fuselage on the way, and then that one should be okay. I did get a couple of flights out of it before we had that tip stalling episode. But yeah, let's get right into it. A little bit of hardware here, hardware bag here. Just going to throw everything off to the side here. Take out these wing parts, these wing halves here, and look at that. See, 12 blades. Look at that. That's what I was wondering. It's 12 blades, and then I really want to get in there to see. Give me a second, guys. You know what? I'm going to do a build video on this one, you guys. I'm going to do a build video on this one. And the reason I'm going to do a build video on this one is because there's a couple of things that I want to go over at the same time. So that's one wing half. The paint job on it, I mean, it could be a little better, I guess, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Now the flaps on this one right here, right? See, these got those split flaps or whatever you want to call them, the split half flaps or whatever you want to call them. That needs to be tightened up a little bit. So basically what it is they're just like real flaps, man. It splits right there, the flap comes down. Boy, that's gotta be tightened up a little bit. Or no, that's just because the aileron's off a little bit here. Hold on. But yeah, everything's all built in. All you gotta do is plug this damn wing in. You gotta put your rods through here, right there and right there. And then throw your wires through into the fuselage, and then just plug everything in. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to put this on like you did with the Dynam. The Dynam has bigger openings here for your intake, it has bigger intake holes. In comparison, I'll bring the other one out when I do the build video, and I'll show you the comparison on this. This one looks more scale, more detailed. You know, it's got more detail with the scale appearance. Here's our ventral fin. Let's go ahead and pull that out, and we'll pull out these horizontals. Looking pretty good, man. Looking pretty good. So I think everything just pretty much kind of screws together here. Yeah, I think it screws together. There's a screw hole there. Boom. And that goes there. So that goes on just like that. Like that. So hold on, I'm gonna put this down for a minute just so I can do this real quick. Yeah. Put it in there. Is that the way it goes on? Ah, there it goes. Okay, nice. There it is. Okay, see a nice fit there. That's a nice fit right there. That's a nice fit. That fits in nicely. It looks like it's nice and centered. So that's nice. That's nice. I'm already liking the way this one's going together. I'm liking this one a lot better than the Dynam. And don't get me wrong, I like Dynam planes, man. First off, they're cheap. They fly pretty damn good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. They fly pretty decent. And the biggest part about it is they're cheap. They're cheap. And you can have just as much flying a Dynam as you can any other freaking plane. I could have fabricated some flaps on the Dynam. It is set up for that. You can do it. You pull out this fuselage here. I did notice one cool thing about this Dynam, or this Freewing. The Freewing has a full-size pilot in it. Look at that. No more half pilots. That's not a, just like half of a body sitting in there. And it fits the plane. It kind of fits the plane. I mean, he kind of looks like a British pilot to me. I mean, honestly, I mean, the old Focke-Wulf pilots and 262 pilots, they had black on, man. They wore black leather. They had, their undershirt here would be red or black. And, they sure as hell wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. That looks more like an American or a British pilot to me. Get with the program with these pilots, guys. Come on. It's not too hard to do. You could use the same exact pilot. Just put a black hat on them, put a black jacket on them, some black pants with a gray stripe down the side of them, or a white stripe or whatever, a gray stripe or whatever it is. Even throw some service medals on his jacket, some old Nazi service medal. But anyways, this is the fuselage. I noticed that this is a little different setup than the Dynam. The hatch still pops open from the front here, but on the Dynam, you have this big hole here where the battery goes in. Another cool thing that Freewing went ahead and did was on the Dynam, you got to drill holes here, okay? So that way you can keep your battery and your ESCs cool in there. This is already done. It's just a plastic piece that they went ahead and they put some thought into it and said, okay, well, I mean, that's just awesome, you guys. I mean, that's pretty cool. You can see that that Freewing always goes the extra mile with their planes. They don't just stick some foam together and then say, oh, well, you have to do this to it when you get it. There's nothing that you have to do to this Freewing plane. You put it together, you tune it up, you bring it outside, and you fucking fly the thing. It's not like Dynam where, oh, you got to cut a hole in the back of your plane. I don't want to cut a hole in my plane. There should already be some type of ventilation hole back there that was already there. I don't like cutting holes in my plane. I don't care if it's something that's going to help the cooling or not. Do it at the manufacturer point. That way, I'm not putting the hole in a spot where it's going to weaken the structure of the airframe and it could cause it to snap. You guys should be doing all that work, not us. Freewing, they go the extra mile. They go the extra mile to make it easy on you. This is going to be a very easy assembly. I can tell you that, guys, right now. The Dynam wasn't very hard to put together either. But where all the things that the Dynam did wrong, Freewing's done right on this plane. This is just, I mean, absolutely gorgeous paint scheme. I will not be touching this paint scheme at all. I think this is a hot paint scheme. I've already blacked out my Dynam 262. I mean, it's pretty cool looking. But like I said, I got another fuselage on the way because we crashed it and broke the whole back half off. Now this isn't sitting on here square anymore. But as you can see, the fuselage and the inside of this one is slightly different than the one on the Freewing. The openings, the holes here, those are much bigger openings. They're probably, you know, a good 10 millimeters diameter bigger, maybe even 11, 12 millimeters bigger, bigger opening on them. But yeah, that fuselage will be here tomorrow. We'll be fixing that one and putting it back together. I'm not going to paint the fuselage though. The tail's going to stay black because nothing's wrong with the tail on this plane. It's perfect, you know what I mean? I even went ahead and cut it and put hinges in here so it works a little better. So we're just basically changing out the fuselage on that one. Putting all the servos from that fuselage into the new fuselage, and I'm not going to paint the fuselage because I noticed one of the big problems with me painting it all black like this, and Larry, you were right, man, I lose the orientation of this thing so bad in the sky. It's horrible, even on a bright sunny day, even when you have that nice, you know, cloudy background where your planes pop out of the sky a little more. Dude, I've lost sight of this thing so many times and almost crashed it. I lost sight of it on a takeoff, and that's how we broke it in half. We've been out with all three of these. Well, actually, we haven't flown the Focke-Wulf yet. We haven't flown that Focke-Wulf yet. That's because one of the retracts is acting up, and I haven't taken the time to fix it yet. But we have flown the Tempest. The Tempest is fixed again. That P-47, I already have a video out on that. We put that P-47 up in the air on my birthday. Did pretty well, not bad. I was pretty impressed. Like I said, it's a Dynam plane. You think, oh, well, it's not going to be that good, but it actually is pretty good. They're not bad planes to fly. And with all three of those prop planes right there, you have the option of putting your own flaps in if you want. So it's not like there can't be flaps on them. You can put flaps on all these Dynam planes. You just have to take the time to do it yourself. But this is it, guys. This is the Freewing Messerschmitt ME262 twin 70 millimeter. I'm going to get into it a little bit more in a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and shut this video down, put it up on YouTube, and then we're going to do a build video on this later. I never do build videos, but we're going to do a build video on this. And not so much like a build video where I'm going to go step by step and show you guys. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, especially this one's going to be wicked easy. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up those ESC hatches because those are supposed to be 60 amp ESCs, and I'm going to look in there and see if they are 60 amp ESCs, and we're going to show that. I'll probably, put the wings on, then, I'm not going to do the wiring or anything like that right now. I will put it on a receiver tomorrow and to do all the systems testing on it. But for right now, I'm going to get the wings and the tail section put on it, and then we're going to come back with a video, and I'm going to show you the ESCs and see if they're 50s or 60s. Because I was under the impression that they were 60 amp ESCs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do know that it said it was going to come with 6-blade EDF units in it. Those are 12-blade EDF fan units in there. So that upgrade's like already done on these now. I mean, I guess they don't come with 6 blades anymore or 5 blades anymore. They come with the 12 blades now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video right now. Once again, this is Dave's RC, and this is your boy Dave. And we will be getting back to you guys soon. See what this thing looks like when it's fully built. And we'll put it right next to the other ME262, and we'll see how they stack up against one another side by side. Later, boys.